Here comes the polar vortex. Dangerously cold weather is on its way, and it's not going to be leaving us anytime soon. Details on the freezing conditions and how long it's expected to last.
Student loan relief.
Like, I literally have no idea how I'm going to pay it.
The new proposal promising to wipe out the majority of student loan debt for most college grads. Details on who qualifies and how likely it is to happen. Diet dilemma. The diet app Noom promises to help you get healthy, but are dieters losing more than just weight? Why some say they're losing money, too.
But start your diet on Monday because we are busting out beer and buffalo wings. It's time for the Super Bowl, and we have a preview of the big game, from food to fans, and the footballs made right here in Ohio. What's New starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Yes, it is, and congratulations, Northeast Ohio, because we have made it to another Friday. Betsy and I talk about this all the time. The weeks just fly by, faster and faster every week.
Monday, it feels like it's the longest week ever.
And then
Tuesday,
boom,
you're like, oh,
it's
only Tuesday. Wednesday, you're like, it's hump day.
It's
Thursday
crazy.
is Friday. Even Friday, we go, where did the week go?
Yeah, that's the way it's been, especially during this pandemic. Thank you so much for choosing What's New. Alongside Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, a terrific Friday afternoon to you.
Thanks to you, too, and everybody else out there. Hope you're ready to get your parkas out, because we definitely have some cold air that's coming in.
And your mittens. Gonna need them.
Yep.
We begin on this Friday with an incredible rescue in Medina County. Check out this video. According to the Sheriff's Department, a man fell through an icy pond. The rescue team wasn't able to help him from shore, so they went out on the ice in order to save him. The department says the rescue was a success. They tell us the man was flown to Akron General Hospital.
Oh, that is, like, I have chills. That is so terrifying to watch. Well, this is the third ice incident in this week in Medina County. But please remember, no matter where you are here in Northeast Ohio, don't trust the ice. Bodies of water might look like they are frozen, but that does not mean that they are frozen enough to support a lot of weight. And it is going to be getting colder. So the ice that we have will start to thicken up. All things in good time, people of Northeast Ohio. Matt Standards is keeping an eye out on that very cold forecast that we have. Hi there, Matt.
Hey, good to see you, Betsy. We have even more rounds of cold air. We are entering into just a very cold pattern for at least the next 7 to 10 days. But this weekend, Betsy, it's going to be a cold one. Today, we felt that cold front come in earlier this morning. But the big thing was that wind today. We had wind gusts just in the past 3 or 4 hours, right around 1 to 2 o'clock this afternoon. Wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. It's that wind chill that's been getting us. It's felt like the single digits. Temperatures are themselves in the 20s and some upper teens. There is some good news, though, this weekend. I know it's cold today, and it's going to be very cold for both your Saturday and Sunday. But the good news is that the winds are slowing down a bit. I mean, we have gale warnings out there right now along the lake shores of Lake Erie. Those will end at 10 o'clock. We'll go more towards a small craft advisory for the weekend. So we'll go from basically 30-mile-per-hour winds with 40-mile-per-hour gusts down to closer to 10 to 15-mile-per-hour winds. So the wind's not going to go completely away, but it's still going to at least be a little bit less intense as it has been the past several hours. But Betsy, we have more cold air pockets towards the north, and they're going to keep on streaming down towards Ohio, and we're going to track each one for you coming up.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, certainly. And yeah, everybody, I know it does get cold here in Northeast Ohio, but this is an unusually cold spell that we are expecting. And if you know someone who needs help finding a warm place to stay during this cold snap, take a look at your screen. If they live in Cuyahoga County, the number to call Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is 216-674-6700. Any other time, you can call 211. And in Akron, the city's 4 warming centers will be open Sunday and remain open Monday, and until the weather improves. Masks and social distancing, of course, will be required.
Now on Your Feet at 5, Democrats are calling on the president to wipe out student loan debts for millions of people, and doing it through an executive action, a move they're hoping could be the additional shot in the arm that the economy needs. Brandon Simmons joins us now with more on who might qualify and why policy researchers support this move.
Hey, Jay, yeah, student loans are a huge problem in the United States. There's $1.7 trillion in federal student loan debt out there, $63 billion of that belonging to students right here in Ohio. Now, I spoke to one student who says something needs to be done considering she tried to save for college, is graduating a year early, and will still have $40,000 in student loan debt. Now, it's a story many people share, taking on student loans because ultimately they don't have a choice. Now, policy researchers say the way we pay for higher education is a broken system, and any amount of money given to borrowers would be a good thing to do.
There's a growing consensus that funding higher education through individual debt is unsustainable. Any conversation around forgiving student debt in the current framework is a really positive one. I think it's a really big step and will help a lot of people.
Okay, so how much are we talking about here? Senators want to see up to $50,000 per person given to borrowers who hold federal loans. Private loans wouldn't be included in any debt relief plan. Now, still, it's enough money to free 36 million people, that's 80% of those with student loan debt, from their debt. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock on What Matters Most, Jay, we'll tell you which segment of the population would benefit most, and we'll also introduce you to some people who are completely opposed to the entire plan.
Yeah, it would cost $1.7 trillion, but the thinking here, obviously, Brandon, that money would be able to be flushed back into the economy because all of these 36 million that are straddled with debt would now be able to afford other products, and they would pump that money back into the economy. It is controversial, and we look forward to seeing you with more of that at 6 o'clock. Brandon, thanks.
Sure.
Well, your news feeds today were probably flooded with people wearing red. And as you'll see, these are some of our coworkers sporting red for Go Red for Women Day. It's a day to raise awareness about cardiovascular disease. And who else is wearing red? Well, that would be our Monica Robbins, of course, our senior health correspondent. Monica, you have been talking women's heart health for years, but the pandemic is definitely putting a new spin on things. Dare I say it's a little stressful?
Yeah, Betsy, you could say that. You know, today I had an hour-long discussion about heart health on the American Heart Association of Ohio's Facebook page. The pandemic definitely having an impact on our hearts. And a Cleveland Clinic survey found that a lot of people just don't realize the danger of not only the virus, but also the pandemic in general. Now, the virus, of course, can damage the heart and affect its pumping function and clotting mechanisms of the blood, which can then lead to cardiovascular problems. This can even affect people with healthy hearts, folks. And anybody who gets infected with COVID could potentially be at risk. And of course, those who already have heart disease are at much higher risk for severe cases of illness after infection. Now, this pandemic has also put a lot of us under stress, some more than others, of dealing with job loss or homeschooling the kids, and of course, the isolation. But for women, high stress can have a very scary impact.
But this is being triggered in women who are having emotional traumas that they're experiencing during this pandemic, which can affect blood flow to their heart, can trigger arrhythmias, can trigger what actually looks just like a heart attack, and can alter the function of the heart cells themselves and can create a short-term episode of heart failure.
So I know times are crazy right now, but seriously, that thing on your Fitbit that tells you to take a deep breath, or on your Apple Watch, or just in general, it's a good idea to do it a few times a day. Dr. Gersh recommends finding your happy place daily with some kind of meditation, be it a walk or using one of those apps to help calm your mind and keep you present. That's key. You want to go for a walk and just pay attention to what's happening. It actually cools off your mind, if you will. And of course, if you experience any kind of potential heart attack symptoms or stroke symptoms, call 911 and get yourself to the emergency room. There is no need to avoid an emergency room during this pandemic. We saw that happen, and we saw so many people dealing with way worse complications because they put a hold on their care. Bets.
Right. Yeah, it's the #1 killer of women in the country, and it's so important to know the risk and know the signs and take action when necessary. Thank you so much for that reminder, Monica. Jay?
Well, Betsy, the Super Bowl Sunday streak is coming to an end, sadly. That's because for the first time in almost a decade, Baldwin Wallace students will not be working this year's Super Bowl. Will Ewick has that story.
It was definitely the most exhausting week of my life, yet the most incredible experience that I will say until I'm blue in the face.
Celia Oswich is a sophomore in Baldwin Wallace's sport management program, a program that prides itself on getting students and club members real-world hands-on experience.
I always felt like experiential learning, where you have the students putting those applications to use while they're still in school, was important. I had some contacts in the NFL, and we were able to get on board and be a part of the Super Bowl, and we've been doing it ever since.
They've been helping out at major sporting events for years and have been working the big game since Super Bowl 48. This year, however, due to COVID concerns, the school decided to end the streak.
As of right now, we are still planning to work the NCAA men's basketball tournament in Indianapolis.
While there are some disappointed students here at Baldwin Wallace, missing not just the big game this weekend, but the NCAA championship, the Kentucky Derby twice, and some other big events, Campisi keeps planning ahead, locking in some big events for 2021 and already making a reservation for 2022.
Obviously, the NFL draft is coming to Cleveland, and then head out to LA. I've already booked the hotel for Super Bowl 56.
While students like Celia are certainly looking ahead to when they can again be an active participant in some of the country's biggest sporting events, this weekend they'll be watching the Super Bowl from home, but not exactly like everyone else.
One of the biggest things that I notice is the ushers, the security, and the individuals who work in guest services. Because I've been in all of those situations, I can't go to a sporting event and just relax and enjoy the game anymore.
Will Ewick, 3 News.
It's really tough, Bets. That's just one of countless things that young people are missing out on. Our alma mater, Bowling Green, also has sent a group of sports management students to help at the Super Bowl for years. Many times over the last couple of decades, I had the pleasure of speaking to those students, and the experience they gain there is real-world, invaluable experience, and they're missing out on it. And another thing, interns. We help young people start their careers by having interns in with us. Bets, we haven't seen an intern in the building in almost a year.
I have no idea. I mean, we've had them in the newsroom, and they do kind of odd jobs. They help set stuff up, and they do interviews, and they actually provide a pretty critical function because they're doing a lot of the background work that allows other folks to kind of move forward on things. We haven't had that, and of course, that is all stuff that they get that real live experience they're talking about, and that sets them up for success in the future. So if you have a youngin' and you know they may need a little help or guidance, go ahead and give it to them on the free.
Absolutely. Next on What's New, you've probably seen the commercials for Noom. That's the app that promises it will help you lose weight. But is it all it's cracked up to be? What the Better Business Bureau is now saying about this app.
And later, the inspiring story of a Cleveland man who had dreams of flying airplanes, but he didn't know any black pilots. He achieved his goals and what he is doing now to help kids coming up behind him. I love this story.
Cool. Welcome back to What's New. In case you needed proof, a recent study published in the Journal of Obesity confirms that many of us have been eating more and exercising less during the pandemic, which means companies selling weight loss products are having a field day. But as consumer investigator Danielle Serino reports, one popular app has gained so much criticism, the Better Business Bureau is now weighing in.
Now I've lost 10 pounds.
Down 22 pounds. 57 pounds. That's a lot of weight.
And that's quite a testimonial for the weight loss app Noom, which is what led Fred Schultz to Bite.
I'm not at work, so I'm sitting around watching TV thinking, gee, great time to lose 40 pounds or 50 pounds.
Noom takes a psychological approach to weight loss, creating a personalized plan based on a questionnaire users take. They're also paired with a diet coach.
With the help of human coaching and AI, we help you better understand yourself and your brain.
And there's a social platform where you can discuss your challenges with other dieters.
It sets goals for you to do each day.
Which is why Kit Sadler signed on. But losing weight's not the problem with Noom. It's what else users are losing. Thousands of customers, including Frank, have filed complaints claiming they couldn't cancel what was supposed to be a free trial and instead got charged, in one case, $400.
I do remember that I was looking at my watch going, wait a minute, I've been doing this for 2.5 hours, and I just couldn't get through to the right person to cancel it.
And how much time do you think you spent trying to cancel this?
I'm going to guess probably 10 hours, 11 hours. Yeah, no kidding.
Other customers complained they thought they'd only be billed $20 or so a month after the free trial, but got charged for several months up front.
We want to just make sure that people are aware of what's going on with this business.
There have been so many complaints over the past 3 years, the Better Business Bureau in New York, where Noom is based, gave them a D rating and issued an alert due to the company's failure to address the problems.
I've been a sucker of those before. And sometimes because I'm a nice Midwesterner, you just go, I'll just pay the $20.
That's what they expect.
Yeah, they expect you to just sort of drop out and go, I'm not going to go through the headache, but this one was particularly irritating.
The company sent a statement in response to the complaints that reads in part, while the vast majority of users have had a positive experience, even a single bad experience is unacceptable. We are significantly expanding the size of our customer support team and the channels where customers can reach us. Frank ended up getting a refund thanks to the Attorney General's office, but learned a lesson about weighing your options when it comes to free trials.
When you sign up for anything, whether it's Zoom or Moom or anything else, it shouldn't take you 4.5 days to get out of what took you only 5 minutes to get in.
Noom's full response is on our website. Meantime, the BBB says it's continually updating reports on companies like Noom, so you should check with them regularly before doing business with anyone. I'm Danielle Serino, 3 News.
Always a good reminder there. All right, well, obviously things are feeling a little different out there than they did yesterday. The winds of change have been rather brisk today, and this is just the beginning, Matt Standridge.
Yes, Chief. In fact, we have so many more cold blasts on the way. And Betsy, while I have you for a second, I have to tell you, when we've been building our forecast together for the past several days, our whole weather team, we're on a Zoom call trying to do that. And every time we're trying to come up with some of these morning lows, I'm almost scared to write some of these numbers down because I've been in the South for a while. And Betsy, I'm telling you, and just for how long some of this cold air is going to last, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways with this weather pattern coming up. We not just have one big cold blast coming away for the weekend, but we have more cold blasts coming into next weekend. Throughout the rest of the evening, we're going to be going over some stats with you guys to try to rank how this cold blast may compare to some others that a lot of us do remember. But let's talk about the weekend. We have temperatures that are going to stay in the 20s both Saturday and Sunday. But specifically on Saturday, one nice thing is that we'll have some sunshine, especially I think throughout the afternoon. And then late Saturday night into early Sunday morning, we may get some snow showers for Sunday. So a little bit of sun Saturday, a little bit of snow on Sunday, but both days are going to be cold with highs staying below freezing. In fact, we're going to stay below freezing probably for the next week or so. Right now, temperatures are in the 20s. In fact, we had some warmer temperatures right after midnight earlier this morning, and then we watched that temperature drop all morning long. The temperatures feel like they're in the teens with some of those wind gusts. In fact, I just checked, we just got another wind gust over 30 miles per hour near downtown Cleveland. So it's definitely still windy out there. But the good news is that the wind is slowly starting to die down, and it won't be as strong this weekend. It's still going to be out there, but it won't be as strong as it has been. Here's a look at satellite and radar. We still have a couple light snow flurries out there. Nothing really accumulating too much, but watch out for a few snowflakes for the rest of the evening. I do think that trend will start to dry out throughout the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, where tomorrow temperatures will probably start in the single digits. Some low teens will only warm up into the mid-20s. What we're getting right now is about as warm as we'll be going into Saturday, and we may even be a little bit colder on Sunday. Here's your National Zymar hour-by-hour forecast. Watch the flurries that are out there right now slowly exit towards the east, towards Pennsylvania, but we'll still keep with that wind, but at least it won't be as strong with gusts, probably closer to 15 or 20 miles per hour instead of 30 to 40 like they've been today. Tomorrow, though, the cool thing is that we're going to get a little bit more sunshine. The further north you go, you're going to look over Lake Erie, you'll probably see a more cloud cover, but overall, some peaks of sun throughout your Saturday. By Sunday, Betsy, we might be even a touch colder with a few snow showers out there, but if we look just at the long-range forecast, the Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook, we're going to stay below freezing for the next several days. And then you notice, Betsy, how the temperatures continue to tumble late next week. So not just one cold blast on the way, but we've got a couple headed our way, Betsy.
That's right. And I told everybody on the call yesterday, I was the first one to put a below zero number in the forecast, and it's in that long range. So buckle up, everybody.
It's still there.
We know what this means. All right. Thanks so much, Matt. We'll talk to you again in about a half hour. Well, coming up for us in the meantime, one Cleveland's man's story of aspiring his dreams. This is an incredible story. He is now inspiring others to achieve their dreams, too.
And later, the Dolphin that is 6 for 6 in Super Bowl predictions Let's see if he can make it 7 in a row. We'll tell you who he's picking for Sunday's game, the Bucks or the Chiefs, when we come back.
Well, Fridays are going to be a little different during Black History Month, and instead of Pop Break, we're going to be introducing you to a unique person in our Black community and show you how they are excelling in their career. Here's Kiera Cotton, who's also excelling in her career with our newest series, Blacklight, exposing the hidden talent within Northeast Ohio's Black community.
You know, I like to have some fun when I fly, so I'm kind of like popping wheelies down the runway.
Sean George is not your average pilot. Born and raised in East Cleveland, Ohio, Sean dreamt of becoming an astronaut when he was growing up, but quickly realized his true calling was a journey less traveled.
I didn't know any pilots. I didn't know any pilots that looked like me.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Black people make up less than 4% of aircraft pilots and flight engineers. And that alone was enough to rev the engine in Sean's quest to become the first pilot he knew.
It was a round-the-clock ordeal because it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Whenever I wasn't at work, whenever I wasn't sleeping, and whenever I wasn't flying, I was studying.
On November 16, 2019, all of his hard work paid off, and he earned his pilot's license. But for Sean, this was only the beginning. With the help of YouTube University, he picked up a camera and started documenting his experiences. Sean now works for FlexJet, a luxury private jet company. He's a dispatcher and creative director, rubbing elbows with some of the most seasoned pilots in the world of aviation.
Brand new private jets? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like what an experience.
But even with a bird's eye view, Sean remains focused on his community, searching for ways to introduce others, especially kids, to his passion.
I feel like that sense of freedom that I get whenever I fly is available and is accessible to anyone, as long as you give aviation the respect that it deserves.
At 28 years old, Sean's career has already reached great heights, and with his determination, I'm sure he'll continue to go far. Next week, I'll introduce you to Sierra Boyd, an emerging fashion designer whose creations are both unique and sustainable. Back to you guys.
Kiera, thank you very much. That is a terrific story. Right now, it is time for our Worth the Watch, and we're going to introduce you to Nicholas. Nicholas is a dolphin. He lives at the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. That's a special place. This week, he picked the team he thinks will win Super Bowl 55. And Betsy, he went against the home team. He is picking the Chiefs to repeat. Now, Nicholas is 6 for 6 in his Super Bowl predictions, but he does have some competition. His Dolphin friend, Winter, picked the home team Bucks to win. So dueling Dolphins.
I would prefer he pick the Browns. Like, if he really wants to get crazy, you know, he's like, hey, wait till you see what the humans do with this one. Watch.
You know what's interesting, Bets, is depending on how Super Bowl 55 plays out, if Kansas City wins the game by more than 5, it's going to shake out that the Browns gave them the best game throughout the playoffs.
That's true.
Our Browns were that close, folks.
You're darn right, our Browns. All right, maybe next year. Yes, there's a chance. Well, coming up for us, it is Super Bowl weekend, in case you haven't heard. But this year's big game is going to look a little different, as we all know. We have a preview of what to expect on Sunday.
Also, this is a great story. Have you ever heard of the Akron Pros? They're the team that won a national championship before the Super Bowl was even a thing. We're going to give you a little history lesson. Mike Polka's along to do that. And speaking of the Super Bowl, those Chiefs players who got put on the COVID list after getting a haircut, well, we have an update. Will they be able to play in the Super Bowl? Come back and find out.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to What's New. I'm Betsy Kling here with Jay Crawford, and may I say, happy Friday.
And I'll say it right back. Happy Friday to you, Betsy, and to everyone watching.
Oh, we definitely need it. And we're going to get started right away because we have a lot to talk about. We begin with 3 things you need to know. First of all, legendary actor Christopher Plummer died today. The 91-year-old died with his wife by his side at their home in Connecticut. He rose to fame with his portrayal of Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music. I think everybody knows that one. When he won an Oscar in 2012 for Beginners, he became the oldest Academy Award-winning actor in history at the age of 82. He's also won 2 Tony Awards in his career.
Plummer actually detested that role as Captain Von Trapp, said it was boring.
Oh.
A lot of people disagree.
I think he did okay with it.
Yeah, he certainly did. Next up, our COVID-19 numbers are the best set of data we have seen in 3.5 months. All 4 indicators down. New cases down more than 400 from yesterday. Our daily positivity rate checking in at 5.6%. That is the lowest number we have seen in 3.5 months. What great news that is. Hospitalizations down again, another 81 patients today. And deaths down 17 from yesterday's number, but sadly, 62 more Ohioans lost their lives due to complications of COVID-19.
And late this afternoon, the House passed the budget resolution that paves the way for President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief plan. They voted 219 to 209. One Democrat, Jared Golden, joined Republicans voting no. And after today's House vote, Majority Leader Steny Hoyer says there is a chance he would call the House back early, but added that committees will need time to write the legislation. The Budget Committee will then receive it by January 16th and prepare the measure for floor consideration.
All right, now on to our top talker at 5:30, and you are looking at live pictures just outside Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. That's where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will become the first team ever to play a Super Bowl in its own stadium. They, of course, will welcome the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The game kicks in just a little more than 48 hours from right now.
Ooh, here come the chicken wings. And just like everything else over the last year, the Super Bowl is going to look and feel a little different than in past years. We turn now to we're going to go ahead and say he's our personal correspondent because we talk to him all the time on a whole variety of different stories. NBC's Jay Gray joins us live from Tampa. Jay, what are some of the precautions the NFL and the city are taking?
Betsy, Jay, I love it. I love talking to you guys, especially at an event like this. We're at the NFL Experience, and they are taking a lot of precautions here. Everybody's got to wear a face mask the whole time. They've got crowds, they've got competition, hand sanitizer stations everywhere here, and they're trying to social. I mean, they are making an effort to social distance. It's kind of tough with the kids, but and tough with the lines when you have so many people here. But they're doing their best. They've got people giving everybody a friendly reminder to stay apart and keep their mask on. And we've seen that pretty much be the case throughout the day. So it's been a great day out here, a great official start to what is the Super Bowl weekend, and a lot of future superstars out here having a great time, guys.
Well, I know that event where you are very well. That is the interactive fan experience, and that really is one of the highlights of the city because kids get to come out and run a 40, throw a football, kick a football. It's big fun. So, Jay, let me ask you this. What does the feel like inside Tampa? Because this is the first time in the history of the Super Bowl that there would be that kind of a buzz in the city. Tom Brady's back for number 10. Kansas City is back for the second straight year. What does it feel like inside Tampa today?
Look, you've been to a bunch of Super Bowls. I've been to a few myself. It's not the same buzz. It's amazing and it's exciting, but you don't have the same amount of people here. And COVID's got a lot to do with that, but also consider we're in the hometown. And so while you're here, you don't have fans coming out every day. Now we're getting into the weekend and we have seen more fans. And today we've seen more Chiefs fans. And the excitement's huge. You can't go 2 feet without seeing somebody wear a Brady jersey, so everybody's excited about that. But again, I think they're taking it easy and making sure that they stay safe. And a big concern, guys, I mean, this is away from the field, is people getting together on game day, not out here, but at their homes, but getting together with other families and people they haven't been around and seeing a spike after this game. So they're urging everybody, stay with your close family, watch the game, and probably a good idea, Jay and Betsy, for everybody across the country.
Definitely a good bit of advice there. Jay Gray, live for us from Tampa. Thank you so much, Jay.
All right, Betsy, we did this last year. We had a lot of fun with it, so we'll try it again this year. I went through and picked 4 prop bets for Super Bowl 55. These are weird and fun things. You want to raise your hand?
I do.
Yes.
What is a prop bet?
So it's a bet other than who's going to win the game.
Oh, so it's all the side bets.
It's all the side bets that you can make. And believe me, there are more than 80 that you can bet on. I just picked a couple that we had fun with. Heads or tails? Which one do you like this year?
I'm going to go heads.
Tails is on a big run, 6 years in a row, so I'm going to go heads with you.
All right.
All right, now here's one that I thought was interesting, only because if Vegas follows this kind of stuff. Will the team that wins the coin toss win the game? Yes or no?
I'm going to go no.
Okay, I'll go opposite then, just to be different, and I'll say yes.
I have
I'm
no
telling
idea.
you, in Vegas, you can literally bet on anything.
Are we going to talk about Gisele's designer outfit? Because we could pick that too.
There was a prop bet. How many times will the CBS crew show Giselle?
I would
That's
say
not-
over 100 on that one.
I think the over-under was 5.
Oh.
But I would take the over. Okay, here's a good one, because we know that dogs are always featured in Super Bowl commercials. How many commercials will have a dog in them? And the over-under here is over 4.5, under 2.5. What are you taking?
I'm going over.
I am too.
Right? All
we
the way.
love dogs.
Yeah.
We love dogs.
Even though Budweiser is moving their money elsewhere,
Yes.
I still think there's good potential.
And here is the final one of our prop bets. How many commercials will show a person wearing a mask?
Oh.
The over is 2.5 on this one, which I thought was low.
How many commercials are in the entire Super Bowl,
There
right?
will probably be about 70.
There better be 70 commercials with people wearing masks.
You would think. So you're going to take the over?
I'm going to go over.
I am too. And just for fun, the Chiefs or the Bucks?
I'm going to go Chiefs.
Okay. I'm going Chiefs too. I want the Bucks. I'd like to see history. Tom Brady win number 7, but
He's got enough.
If Kansas City wins,
Not that Kansas City didn't win last year, but
no, but if they win, we can say we lost to the team that won it all.
that's true.
Okay, still ahead on what's new. Northeast Ohio has some pretty incredible athletes taking the field in Sunday's big game. We're going to tell you who you should watch for that's got area ties.
And we didn't put any ante on any of that betting, did we?
No, just for fun.
Okay, thank goodness.
Always just for
I wasn't sure what I agreed to. All right, then, supporting our local restaurants that need your help more than ever. We'll tell you which ones are dishing up specials all weekend long. And of course, we're going to take a look at that forecast again. It's getting a little frosty out there, Matt.
Hey, Chief, we're in the 20s, but it feels like the single digits and the teens out there. We're going to let you know how long this cold spell is going to last. That's coming up. Betsy?
And as we head to break, we want to share today's Black History moment. Romney Smith tells us about an educational achievement within Cleveland and the first black principal in the city school district.
Hazel Mountain Walker started teaching in 1909. She earned her law degree in 1919 to further her career. She climbed the educational ladder and in 1936 became the first black principal in the Cleveland Metropolitan School System when she led Rutherford B. Hayes Elementary School. She later earned a master's degree and became principal of George Washington Carver Elementary School until she retired in 1958.
Well, I would be just crazy if I didn't say Happy Weather Person's Day to you, Matt Standridge. Cookies by Design sent us this fantastical little cookie bouquet that we're going to be busting out. And Matt, you live just down the street here in downtown, so I hope you will come and get some of these because there's no way in heck I am feeding my children these giant cookies. So come on down and get
That is
some,
so
and
sweet.
Happy Weather Person's Day.
That's awesome. Well, happy National Weather Person's Day to you, Chief. Hey, Chief, so this is kind of a day where we celebrate meteorologists and weather persons, but we don't have a very nice forecast moving forward at
It's all right.
We've got some cold blasts on the way. Betsy, I mean, you feel it right now, but then we have more coming next week. But one thing that's important, and Betsy and I have been talking about this today, is we want to put it into context. So a lot of times it's nice to take an upcoming cold outbreak and compare it to what we have seen in the past other years. Sometimes you need it to kind of compare it to something that we've already experienced to figure out, okay, that's what it's going to be like. Because you see temperatures on the screen, but how's it actually going to feel out there? Well, right now we're watching several cold pockets as you move north towards the North Pole, and they're trying to dump their way south into the United States. And we tried to go into some stats, and Betsy's going to have some cool stats for you coming up here at 6. But I want to take a look at just February specifically and the cold mornings that are coming ahead. Normally, on average in Cleveland, we have 4 days where the morning temperature starts below 10 degrees. Just in the next 7 to 10 days, we're expecting more than 6 days to hit that criteria. And you see, we don't always do that very often. For example, just over the past several years, over the past, 30 years or so, we've only done that 5 times. And I think this is going to be another year where here in February, we're going to have at least 6, maybe 7 or 8 days where that morning temperature, you're stepping out the door, is going to be below 10 degrees. And then, of course, drop the degree a little bit more for that feels like temperature. Right now, the feels like temperature is really getting you as you're headed out the door this evening. It feels like it's in the single digits and teens. We have a couple snow flurries out there. They're pretty light. They should start to wrap up though throughout the rest of the overnight hours, but temperatures are going to continue to cool down. Some of us will probably hit some of those single digits tonight, so we can maybe add a tally or so, but we're going to be bottoming out right next to 10 or 11 degrees tonight. But this weekend, what you need to know, it's going to be cold. Temperatures though on Saturday, mid-20s, low 20s Sunday. Some sunshine though Saturday. That's going to be nice. By Sunday, we'll be watching a couple of snow flurries out there. Tomorrow though, another cold day. We're basically in a very cold stretch as we move forward. I want to show you the National Zymar hour-by-hour forecast. No flurries right now, but they'll be ending. And as you're headed out to tomorrow morning, Jay, I think we're going to get some pockets of sunshine, maybe even a little bit more throughout the afternoon. Even the sun makes a difference when temperatures are still in the mid-20s. It just feels nice to have some sunshine out there. And Jay, as we look forward to that Union Home Mortgage 7-day outlook, you see, we're not going above freezing anytime soon. But what's interesting about this pattern is that some days we will get some sunshine. We're looking forward to those days. But in between, throughout this cold spell, we are expecting some snow showers. So far, no maybe huge systems, but some snow will be on the way. Jay?
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Have a great weekend and happy National Weather Person Day to you, as well as Betsy. All right, the pandemic has hit our local restaurants extremely hard, so we're doing our part by highlighting local shops in our show every day. Today, we are shining the spotlight on Szechuan Gourmet in Asiatown. The final feature in that neighborhood, part of Save Our Sauce feature that we're conducting here on Channel 3. They have a spicy palette offering mapo, tofu, dried pepper chicken, and fried lamb with cumin. Visit WKYC.com for a full list of great restaurants in this neighborhood from our very own Doug Tratner. And this week, some restaurants in my neck of the woods need your support as well. 22 restaurants are offering specialty meals through this Sunday with dine-in and takeout options for Chagrin Valley Restaurant Week. One of the favorites, it's perfect too for an early Valentine's Day, it's Paris Room. Get this, right now, the restaurant is offering 3 courses for just $30.
Paris Room is an experience. I mean, it's the food, but it's also the ambiance and it's the music. And so, you know, folks, although we want you to do curbside during restaurant week, make sure you pencil Paris Room in during the spring and summer when they hopefully reopen so that you could truly get the full experience of what it's like to dine here.
Yeah, I would say pen it in. It's that good. One of the best in Chagrin. And each day has a different theme. You can get more details. It's up on our website, WKYC.com.
All right, well, still ahead for us here on What's New, we have Valentine's Day recipes for you to make your special person if you're not going to be dining out or doing carry out. And that includes chicken that is so good, they call it engagement chicken, because you're going to want to get engaged after you serve it.
To the chicken or to your significant other?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hey, have you ever heard of the Akron Pros? Our Mike Polk Jr. is along next to tell us all about the football team and their role in making Ohio the heartbeat of football.
All right, you know what that music means. It is time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, of course, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Happy Friday to you, Stephanie.
Happy Friday to you, Betsy. I've got your Super Bowl update. Demarcus Robinson on Kansas City has been cleared off the COVID list. Now, as for Daniel Kilgore, if he keeps testing negative, he'll be cleared tomorrow. And aside from that, Northeast Ohio will be well represented in Sunday's big game. There are 3 players for Kansas City that are from here. Tight end Travis Kelce, we've been talking about, from Cleveland Heights. There's also Frank Clark, defensive end from Cleveland Glenville. And Anthony Hitchens, a linebacker who was a star player at Clearview High in Lorain. So, if you can stomach rooting for Kansas City after they beat the Browns, at least there are some locals on the team. Speaking of the stomach, we've got some sweet treats and Valentine's Day recipes for you on WKYC.com because that is one way to the heart. First up, the proper way to prepare oysters on the half shell. And what could be more perfect for dessert than cookies covered in kisses? My special twist on that recipe is online. And how about Marry Me Chicken? This is the update on the famous engagement chicken that started in 1982 when a Glamour magazine editor passed the recipe around to staffers, and 4 of them got engaged. To be clear, I am not recommending you trick someone into marrying you with a piece of chicken, but it would make for a good Valentine's Day story. And when it comes to matters of the heart, our health is very important. So today we raise awareness for heart disease, which impacts 1 in 3 women of all ages. So today we wear red, including our Kiera Cotton, along with our EP Allison, and our newest digital producer Hope, there's Kiera there, and our producer Monique, that's her feet, with her pup Mia, both in red. All right, Jay and Betsy, I have a heart health pop quiz for you right now. Whose heart beats faster? A man's or a woman's?
I think I know this. I think a woman's does.
I would say it depends on the situation.
We'll leave that, a pin in that one for the second. The answer is this. It is a woman's heart, and it is for this reason. Our hearts are about the size of our fist. And so because a woman's heart is a little bit smaller, literally, not figuratively, we've all got big hearts, it has to work a little harder, so it has to beat a little faster. So Jay, you got that one right. A woman's heart beats faster.
Makes sense. I love it when you teach us something, Stephanie. That's so good. I'm smarter now.
Thank you, Stephanie. Happy weekend.
You're
We'll see you
very
again
welcome.
on Monday.
Yep.
That was a good one, Betsy.
Try.
All right. As we head into this Super Bowl weekend, it's the perfect opportunity to take a minute and think about Northeast Ohio's own great football history. It is rich. The NFL was not only founded in Canton, but Akron is home to the very first NFL champions. They were called the Akron Pros. Our Mike Polk Jr. had the chance to get a pretty fascinating football history lesson from archivist John Kendall at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Here's just a taste of what Mike learned.
Talk about a hot little club called the Akron Pros. They're officially the first champions of the NFL, right?
Right. Back then, it was known as the American Professional Football Association. 2 years later, they would change their name to the National Football League. Yeah, that Akron Pros team, they were the first NFL champions.
I don't understand how this isn't a bigger deal. Especially for Akron, I would be screaming this from the mountaintops of Akron. We are the home of the very first NFL champions.
Right.
What else can you tell me about the team, the actual 1920 team that won?
At the end of the day, they had 1,000 winning percentage. They also had a Hall of Fame. He was a quarterback, but really the quarterback back then ran the football, and that was Fritz Pollard. And Fritz Pollard was one of the first African Americans to play in the league. And he also coached the team. He was co-coach in 1921 for the Akron Pros. So ultimately,
in 1921.
Yeah.
Come on, the story keeps getting more amazing. Now you've got this angle. Come on. We've got to let people know about this, about the Akron Pros.
Years before, that is incredible. And that's 25 years before an African American played in Major League Baseball.
Right.
And here football in 1921 had a star player and co-coach that led them to a championship right in our backyard. That's just fascinating stuff.
We have such great history here in Northeast Ohio,
really do.
and there's so much that we don't even know.
You can watch Mike's full interview, and I recommend that you do. There's some fascinating tidbits in there. It's on our website, WKYC.com. And Betsy, another Ohio tie to football is the actual footballs. The footballs for the Super Bowl are made at the Wilson factory up the road here in Ada, Ohio. It's south of Toledo. The factory, Betsy, get this, has made every single football for every single Super Bowl.
But they are not responsible for inflating them, are they?
No, they are not. That's Tom Brady's job. Betsy.
I went there. That's bad.
Yeah, it's amazing when you think about it. Ohio is just loaded with football tradition. Next on What's New, video you have to see to believe. A custodian makes a backwards half-court shot. The Hot Shots' incredible reaction is coming up. Love this guy.
Then on What Matters Most at 6, Super Bowl Sunday is about more than just football. There's the commercials, a preview of what to expect, plus the local company making a big debut.
Really? Well, that's about
It is time for Show Us Something Good. Watch this school custodian.
Yeah.
Like he does it every day.
Brady just walks off.
Yeah, I mean, that's drop the mic. You can't get any better than that. He didn't know anybody was watching. The video was caught on a security camera. It's actually not far from here, Bets. It's a Middle School in Findlay, Ohio.
Oh, very nice. He probably ran to the office to check the security tape. He knows where it is. Get in there, quick, somebody get it. Cool. Hey, I just have to give a shout out and a huge thank you to Diane and Jeff LaPars. They sent a cake to our evening news crews saying thank you for bringing us the feel-good stories that makes them feel good, so they're making us feel good. They even sent a spatula and forks and plates, so thank you so much, Jeff and Diane. We really do appreciate it. You did make us feel good.
Very kind.
Well, thank you all for watching us here today on What's New. We hope you've had a great week with us.
Have a great weekend. What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts right now.